podcast where we uncover hidden stories, chilling mysteries, and untold truths buried beneath the surface. Each week, we venture into the darkest corners of true crime, unraveling the facts, exploring theories, and confronting the lingering questions that still haunt us. This week, we delve into the chilling Villisca Axe Murders, a gruesome and mysterious crime that shocked a small town and left a legacy of unanswered questions. We'll explore the events leading up to that fateful night, the potential motives, and the enduring mysteries that continue to captivate both historians and true crime enthusiasts. New episodes are released every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube to stay updated. You can also listen to Truth Buried Deep on Spotify, PodMe, or your preferred podcast platform. For exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more, follow us on Instagram at @TruthBuriedDeep. Now, settle in, dim the lights, and join us as we uncover the truth. Because some secrets are too big to stay buried.
All right, let's dive into another deep dive.
Ooh, I like that.
Today, we're going all the way back to 1912 to Villisca, Iowa.
Okay.
So, picture this. Small town, Sunday evening, the Moore family is coming home from church
Peaceful.
with two young guests, the Stillinger girls.
Right?
It seems like a normal night, right?
Seems like it, yeah.
But the next morning,
Uh-oh.
8 people are found brutally murdered in their sleep.
Oh, gosh.
This is the Villisca Axe Murders.
It's a case that has really captivated people for over a century now.
Oh, for sure.
For good reason. I mean, the brutality, the mystery.
The axe.
Yeah, the axe.
We have so much to unpack here, so much to look at.
Yeah.
I got some fascinating sources for you.
Okay.
So before we even get into the theories,
Okay.
let's start with the basics.
The basics are.
Can you walk us through what happened that night, June 9, 1912?
Yeah. So that evening, the Moore family, Josiah and Sarah, along with their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul. They came back from church, as you mentioned, with the 2 little Stillinger girls, Ina and Lena. They were spending the night.
Right.
And everything seemed normal. But sometime during that night, someone, an intruder, entered the house.
And that's where things get terrifying.
Yeah.
We know the murder weapon was an axe.
An axe, yeah.
Can you paint us a picture of the crime scene?
It was really a gruesome scene.
Yeah.
Every single victim had been hit multiple times in the head with the blunt end of an axe.
Oh, wow.
The killer had even covered all the mirrors in the house.
What?
Yeah.
Why would they cover the mirrors?
That's a really good question. And there are a lot of different theories about it.
Okay.
Some think maybe it was guilt. You know, maybe they didn't want to see what they had done.
Right.
Some people think it was more like a ritual, superstitious, to trap the spirits of the victims.
Oh, spooky.
Yeah, it adds to the whole mystery of the case.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's really hard to say for sure why.
Well, and to make things even more complicated,
Yeah.
I remember reading that the initial investigation wasn't exactly,
Yeah, no, it wasn't the best.
not great.
It was the early 1900s, and forensic science, it wasn't really a thing yet, you know?
Right, right.
So the crime scene, it got totally contaminated.
Oh, no.
Yeah, before investigators could even really secure it, people from the town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were just walking through the house, probably messing up any evidence.
Oh, wow.
I mean, imagine that.
Yeah.
Over 100 people just traipsing through.
A night
A
bell.
total nightmare for investigators, yeah.
So finding the culprit,
Oh,
it must have been like finding a needle in a haystack.
pretty much.
So who are the main suspects?
Well, they did manage to find some potential suspects.
Okay.
One of the most prominent was Frank Jones.
Frank Jones.
Yeah.
He was a businessman.
Yeah, well-known businessman in Villisca.
Okay, so why would a businessman be a suspect in these brutal murders?
Well, there were rumors, you know, about his relationship with Josiah Moore. They were rivals in business, and some people thought Jones might have had a grudge.
Ah, so like a motive, maybe.
Exactly, maybe even a financial motive.
So was it Jones? Did they have any evidence?
Not really, no.
Ugh.
I mean, he definitely had the means
Right.
and that bad blood with Moore, but nothing concrete.
So if it wasn't Jones, who else were they looking at?
Another interesting suspect was Reverend George Kelly.
A reverend.
Yeah, a traveling preacher known for being a little
A little what?
eccentric.
Oh,
He was really into the occult, and get this,
oh,
he even visited the crime scene pretending to be a detective from Scotland Yard.
okay. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and later on, he actually confessed to the murders.
He confessed.
He did, but then he took it back.
So was he just looking for attention? Or was there some truth to his confession?
Hard to say.
This is frustrating.
Yeah, it's another dead end.
It seems like every lead just fizzled out.
It did with Kelly, too.
No real evidence. Were there any other suspects at all?
Oh, yeah, there were a few others.
Okay.
Andy Sawyer, Blackie Mansfield, Henry Lee Moore.
And what about them?
Lots of rumors, of course, but again, no solid evidence.
So all those initial leads, they went nowhere.
Pretty much.
So the case just went cold.
It did for a while, but then, years later, this new theory came out.
Ooh, tell me about it.
It's called the man from the train.
I've heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah, it's the one that connects the Villisca murders to other murders all over the country, right?
You got it.
Like a serial killer traveling by train.
Yeah, wait.
So what's the theory all about?
Well, this book, The Man from the Train,
Mm-hmm.
it was written by Bill James and his daughter, Rachel McCarthy James,
Okay.
and they did tons of research
Wow.
comparing the Villisca murders to a bunch of other unsolved murders.
Mm-hmm.
And they think this guy, Paul Mueller, might be responsible.
Paul Mueller.
Yeah, an Austrian immigrant.
Okay, so what are the similarities between these murders? And why do they think it was Mueller? And on top of all that, we have to talk about the paranormal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the Villisca house,
It's a hot spot for that stuff.
a hotspot, yeah.
Totally.
You included an investigation from the paranormal files in the sources.
I did.
So what did they find?
Well, they went in there
Hmm.
using all those tools, you know.
Like EMF readers and stuff?
Exactly. EMF readers, spirit boxes.
Oh, a spirit box.
Have you ever used one?
I haven't.
Basically, it scans through radio frequencies really fast.
Okay.
The idea is that spirits can, like, manipulate the static
Oh, wow.
to make words.
Spooky?
Yeah, kind of like a high-tech Ouija board.
Right, right.
Now, I always say take this stuff with a grain of salt.
Of course, of course.
But some of the responses they got,
Hmm.
they were creepy.
Like what?
Well, they got some descriptions of the killer
Right.
that kind of match up with Paul Mueller.
What did they say?
Things like short, stout, you know,
Hmm.
long hair, pretty.
That's so creepy.
And they even got some locations.
Location.
Yeah, places where other similar murders happened.
Wow.
Pretty freaky, right?
Yeah, even if you don't believe in ghosts, that's got to make you think.
It does, but I'm a skeptic at heart. I
Okay.
think there are more rational explanations, you know.
Like what?
Pareidolia.
Dysphalia.
Pareidolia.
Yeah, it's where our brains see patterns, even in random noise.
Oh, right.
Plus these spirit boxes,
Yeah.
they're not exactly scientifically proven, right?
Right. But
Yeah.
even if you don't buy into the paranormal stuff,
Yeah.
the Villisca house, it's just got this aura, you know,
Oh, yeah.
all those stories.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, yeah.
People have reported all sorts of weird stuff happening there.
Footsteps.
Boys.
I read that in 2014.
What happened?
A visitor was stabbed.
No way.
Yeah, in the same room where the Stillinger girls were murdered.
Oh, my gosh.
And the guy claimed he didn't remember it.
Wow.
So, of course, people thought it was a ghost.
Ghost attack.
It's intense.
It is intense, and it brings up another question.
What's that?
Is it ethical,
Ethical to what?
to turn a place like that, where something so awful happened,
Yeah.
into a tourist attraction?
It's tricky, right?
It is tricky, yeah.
It's like, on the one hand, it's history. We should learn from it.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's a place of tragedy.
Yeah.
We need to respect the victims.
Exactly, so
Where do you draw the line?
I don't know.
Something to think about.
Definitely something for our listeners to consider
Yeah.
as they explore this case further.
Absolutely.
It all goes back to that big question.
Oh,
Jackie.
say question.
Was it Paul Mueller?
Oh, yeah.
And if it was,
Mm.
is that why the house is haunted?
Whoa! Like, is he trapped there?
It's-
That's deep.
It is deep.
So what are your final thoughts?
I think sometimes, no matter how hard we try, some mysteries just stay unsolved. And the Villisca Axe Murders, they're a reminder that even in small towns,
Yeah,
bad things can happen.
they can happen anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. And we might never know the full truth.
That's the scary part.
It is scary.
Makes you think, huh?
It does.
About the darkness out there.
So we've looked at the facts, the suspects,
Our theories.
the paranormal side.
All of it.
Now it's up to you, our listeners.
Yeah.
What do you think happened in Villisca?
Who is behind it all?
We've given you the pieces,
Now you put them together.
and let us know.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of Truth Buried Deep. If you enjoyed the journey into today's mystery, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube. You can also catch us on Spotify, Podme, or wherever you get your podcasts. Stay connected and get more updates by following us on Instagram at @TruthBuriedDeep. And remember, new episodes come out every Monday, so mark your calendars and join us as we uncover more secrets that refuse to stay buried.